What is up, guys? It's RCR, and we've got a spicy 5-12 matchup to discuss today. Taking place on Friday in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. It is number 5 seeded Wisconsin against the 12 seeded James Madison team. That is 31-3 and going to be a team that is going to be picked a lot to get the upset over the Badgers. They're led by Terrence Edwards, averaging 17 points per game, along with TJ Bickerstaff, who's averaging 13 points per game and 8 rebounds per game. James Madison went from a team that was a huge shock, Cinderella in the first night of the college basketball season, to a team that you don't want to play now. They obviously started off the year by beating Michigan State when Michigan State was a top 5 team. They won that game at Michigan State. Shocked the world. That's their best win on their resume. But when we thought that was just a random fluke, a crazy game, it turned out not to be, because James Madison ended up going on multiple 13-game win streaks this year and, of course, ended up 31-3. Most victories in the entire country. And they do this through offense. They average 84.4 points per game. They push the pace so hard, and they play some aggressive defense. They hold their opponents to only 69 points per game, and they force them to shoot the three, and they hold them to a low percentage. Opponents only shoot 29% from behind the arc when going against James Madison. This team is really good. They lost twice to App State. That's 2 of their losses are to the same team. They don't got to worry about that now. They get to worry about the Wisconsin Badgers, who are led by A.J. Storr, averaging 16.7 points per game. Stephen Crawl, 11. They also got point guard Chucky Hepburn. They just made it to the Big Ten Championship, lost to Illinois. But this is a team that was up to number 6 in the country at one point. So this team is talented. They can win games. Clearly, they beat Purdue earlier in the Big Ten tournament this year. They beat Michigan State as well. They have that common opponent. Wisconsin also beat Marquette, and they're also battle-tested. They lost to Arizona. They lost to Purdue. They lost to Illinois twice. They have played against good teams, and they're a veteran-led team, which is something you need if you don't want to get upset in March. They're obviously led by A.J. Storr. He puts the team on his back in a lot of tough spots. And then they got Chucky Hepburn, who just hit the game winner against Purdue in the Big Ten tournament semifinals. He's also an elite defender. Wisconsin, they hold their hat, not necessarily on offense or defense. They just play solid in both. They can win in different ways. They won with their offense against Purdue the other night, but they've also won with their defense in previous games, such as the Marquette game when they held them to 64 points. This team is efficient offensively. They're inconsistent defensively. If you trust one thing more than the other, you would trust their offense over their defense, which makes me think this is going to be a high-scoring shootout, and I don't know who that favors. Typically, when I think high-scoring shootouts, I feel like that favors the underdog. So with that being said, I'm going to take James Madison in this game. The spread is not out yet, but doesn't matter the spread. I'm taking James Madison straight up on the money line, and I think you should take them in their bracket. James Madison's a scary team, and they match up well against Duke or Vermont in the next round, whoever you take. But give me James Madison to get the upset over the Badgers. Who do you got?